Those of you who are sitting also, that's why we are sitting upright. It's Koda featuring Ariama on this one. It's a cover of the Travis Green song. Time for the news review brought to you by Interplast. Wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you even in space. Now, as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, Interplast Limited says thank you for your contribution made in the success of our company. The achievement of Interplast as the biggest in West Africa and the pipes production industry is as a result of the combined efforts of all stakeholders, especially our staff and most importantly our customers. We look forward to another great milestone working with you. The tradition of quality and innovation lives on. Call us now on 0302-819-000 for all your plumbing needs, irrigation solutions, as well as UPVC windows and doors for your home and office. Interplast, wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you, even space. It's time for us to learn how to say it right.
Something must be done.
You say enough. I say.
Kojo, what's the latest on the banking crisis?
Not much has happened since all those charges were proffered a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that reminds me. I've heard people say preferred when they meant profit.
Ah, yes, another common one. The two words have very different meanings. To prefer is to like one thing better than another, and to proffer is to propose or present something for acceptance.
That's right. So the prosecution proffered charges in court, and I preferred the tie you wore yesterday to this one.
Whatever. That's how you say it right.
And that's how you say it right. Speaking of which, good morning, Kojo. Good morning, anyone.
Hello.
Good morning, Daniel. How are ya?
I'm great. So, a few updates on the coronavirus before we do anything.
Yes, and the number of cases that have been reported have gone up. I'm just pulling the figures now. Okay, so we know from Spectator Index that China has reported 2,592, Iran 12, South Korea 7, the Diamond Princess ship 3, Italy 3, Hong Kong 2, Japan 1, Taiwan 1, France 1, Philippines 1. Now there are also some first cases of coronavirus, fresh cases in Spain, Switzerland, Austria, Croatia, Algeria. The problem is that most of these figures were from yesterday, and so it seems to be spreading at quite a fast rate. So we're unable to say what it is this morning because it's moving very quickly, and so these figures don't take into account cases that have been detected in the last 18 hours.
Absolutely. Now, of course, the WHO is concerned that there might now be two countries which can be classified as secondary sites of spread, and those countries are Italy and South Korea. So a gentleman, a 61-year-old gentleman, traveled from Milan to Brazil. He now is a recorded case. There's a case in Switzerland and also Croatia, Algeria. So Algeria, of course, is now the second African country to record a case of coronavirus. Now, the experts are advising countries like Ghana that much as the border checks are important and they must not relent on those, it's now even more important to move to the next phase, which is setting up proper structures for monitoring, contact tracing, and containment, because it's starting to look like this is going to affect a lot more countries before it's over. So what every nation ought to be doing is making sure that they have systems to trace people and to trace their contacts. So once you are diagnosed, they ought to be able to find out who you've been in contact with over a period of time. The period, of course, being the incubation period during which the virus is infectious.
Thanks, Kojo. Thanks, Denimwa. Let's do the front pages now.
All right, I'll start. I've got the Gold Street Business. It's on top of my pile, and the banner headline is Ghana set to benefit from gold price surge. Also, Ghana ranked 4th best agri performer in Africa, and 3 major road projects started without feasibility data. Results in cost and time overruns. This is an interesting one I'll tell you about later.
Okay, on the front page of the Ghanaian Observer, minority boycott SONA debate, top cancer surgeon cautions leaders over the threats of breast cancer, journalists schooled over election 2020, Ghana-Norway to reinforce ties of cooperation, Dan Botre upon Nkrumah, Brian Champong go unopposed in hot Eastern Region NPP primaries.
Right now, Daniel and Animwa, today I have the junior graphic. Their tagline is "Serving the Youth of Ghana." Great picture of some kindergarten children playing musical chairs. But the banner headline is "Children Report Parents for Non-Maintenance." Fascinating stuff. On the back page, a couple of interesting stories. Yeah, I'll tell you more. 6 new regions to get youth centers, and some wonderful lyrics from the song Shekere by Yemi Alade and Angelique Kidjo.
Okay, well, the custodian is reporting Ghanaians will reward me in the 2020 polls. That's according to Akufo-Addo. Never walk out on Akufo-Addo again upon Nkrumah to the minority. 800 defunct MFIs depositors receive 200 million Ghana cedis, and Ministry of Information begins education on the right to information.
The finder has these. We didn't receive the monies, some supposed Get Fund beneficiaries cry out. And also, all 3,112 names and amounts must be published. On the front page this morning as well, support Akufo-Addo to do more upon Nkrumah. Accountant General to migrate payrolls of public universities onto IPPD2 next month. And National Best Farmer receives prize money from ADB. Also, NHIA pays service providers over 91 million Ghana cedis in claims for 2020.
Okay, the Daily Guide is reporting this morning, Okujeto lies exposed. MP charges on Domelevo in Get Fund audit. 40 Zongo youth get Cuba scholarship. No fraud in EC tender. NPP MP berates NDC MPs for SONA debate. That's the Daily Guide. And on the back page of the Daily Guide, Gigi Bekali, the flamboyant owner of Bucharest Football Club, is saying my players have too much sex.
Well, as a concerned owner,
yeah.
All right, Daily Graphic has these. Institute payment policy within 56 days. Auditor General directs Highway Authority. This is the second road audit that we're talking about this morning. It's kind of related to the other one in so many ways. I'll tell you about it shortly. ADB presents prize money to 2019 National Best Farmer and 1,300 savings and loans customers' accounts credited, according to CBG.
Kojo, did you know that a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's Proverbs 15, verse 1. On the front page of the Chronicle, majority teases mute NDC into debate. There's light because of JM Investments, as according to Boa. Alleged defiler gains freedom after 7 years in jail. And that's it for me from the Chronicle.
All right, then. The Herald is next. Get Fund Scholarships scandal reveals more skeletons. Insiders call for GNPC and NHIA probe too. Now, this is accompanied by pictures of Ignatius Bafwe, Wasera, Joasafo, Matthew Pukuprempe, and Mavis Nkansa Bwedu. Lulu Briggs' family finally gets his body for burial in Nigeria, and Kennedy Japan's days as MP numbered after 20 years.
Okay, the Daily Statesman, Swiss ambassador expresses confidence in Ghana's electoral system. Ghana on the right footing. Information minister urges support for Akufo-Addo. NPP primaries renew old hostilities at Nkoko.
The Ghanaian Publisher, real quick. Unipass unfazed by needless negative campaign. ADB presents 536,000 Ghana cedis to 2019 Best Farmer. Ghana rising under Akufo-Addo, information minister. And Afenyo Markin goes unopposed as 49 aspirants file in Central Region. On
the back page of the Ghanaian Times, dredging works begin on the Takoradi Port Basin. Workshop on negative impacts of illegal fishing held at Fijai. And on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, that's debate on SONA. Also, the ADB presents 536,000 check to National Best Farmer. CSO platform on SDGs. Define our role in Ghana beyond aid agenda. Define our role in Ghana beyond aid agenda. And then this story, Kojo, aflatoxin menace. EU countries rejects Ghana grains.
Wow.
We'll bring you more on that. And, of course, that story about dredging works beginning in Takoradi as well.
Okay, then. The New Crusading Guide has these to say for itself on the front page. Revealed minority feigning ignorance about new voters register. Rubber outgrowers vent spleen on GREL, and soldier blow venture land guards on collision course as tension mounts over warrant officers encroached land. Okay. Also, all set for Greater Accra Maulid as committee advises politicians not to use event as rally grounds.
Let's go on myjonline.com as we check out the website. NDC Sadongo challenges Baumia to face-to-face debate on the economy. There's that bit on the NDC MPs abstaining from the debate of Ekufado State of the Nation address. Planned maintenance by ECG to cause doomsday in parts of Accra. I wonder if they can explain the power outages that have been experienced in the past few days. There's an opinion piece here. The carnage on Ghana's roads. Time for common sense solutions. And the Arrive Alive campaign is really picking up steam. Today we are bringing in the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, into the studios as we discuss how you can stay safe and how they are contributing to the campaign. So you can send us a message if you have a question on 0244-340-437, citynewsroom.com. Oslo Chancery. Minorities diligence saved Ghana over $4.5 million. starfm.com.gh. Amidu declines request to probe missing excavators. That was a big story on Top Story last night. And the BBC.com has that update that we just gave you on the coronavirus. Let's go to Parliament anymore.
Yes, and there was obviously we know that yesterday there was supposed to be the debate on the State of the Nation address, and this is how it started. So at the commencement of the debate yesterday, the Minority Caucus served notice that they won't participate in the debate. So the Minister for Information and Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayerebi, Kojo Oponkrumah, moved the motion, and what happens is that the minority are supposed to second the motion, but that was not to be. And so there was a long wait without any of them rising to second the motion. And then another member of the majority side, Dr. Mark Asibeyewa, rose to second the motion. But Honorable Muntaka has been speaking about the fact that they would not be taking part.
Like you rightly said, it's not a rule, it's just a convention. Our principle is that we are not participating in this. So we will not be speaking for it.
So that was that, and then also Honorable Bois spoke as well.
It is not correct that there was no drilling activities during that period 2013-2016. On the other hand, the record is very clear that the oil upstream sector under President Nana Akufo-Addo has really come to a standstill. That is why the NDC can pride itself of 23 discoveries between that period. The NDC, when leaving office, had brought 3 major FPSOs. That is why the NDC left 3 major producing fields.
And Daniel, it's interesting because that sound or that voice, that's speech was given outside the floor of Parliament because the NDC insisted on not going inside, and so they were happy to comment on the outside of Parliament. Something that's very interesting everybody wanted to hear about was what's going on with the financial sector in terms of payments, and Kojo Oponkrumah spoke on that.
Let me take advantage of this opportunity to also call on the Bank of Ghana, the receiver, and the CBG to communicate clearly and proactively to all stakeholders to manage the expectations of depositors. They should be clear with their timeline and the instruments of payment and explain to the people what it means to pay with cash and bonds. They ought not wait for expectations to go amiss before they explain.
And so the debate has begun, and we look forward to see how long the minority will hold out and not participate in really what they should be participating in my opinion.
Right. Thanks, Enima. Let's go to that interesting story, Kojo, you were talking about in the Junior Graphic show.
Yes, and this morning the Junior Graphic has a story that was quite well written. I was very impressed. It was done by Augustina Teria, and the headline is "Children Report Parents for Non-Performance." So DOPSU is reporting that they receive about 6 of such cases each day. And some of the children make such reports in the company of their teachers. Ms. Gifty Tekbo is the head of the unit. And she was basically talking about how children mostly report to them incidents of non-payment of school fees by their parents, failure to provide school books, clothing, feeding fees, medical care, and a lack of affection from their parents. All of these are very common. Now, she made reference to the law. She talked about Children's Act 1998, Act 560, and then the Domestic Violence Act 732. Both of them support a child who has been deprived of adequate food, clothing, shelter, and education to file for help. And the child can also ask for maintenance from parents regarding health issues, education, a reasonable shelter, among others. And this is a quote from her. She said, "You are vulnerable and cannot fight for yourself. That is why we are trained to stand in. When parents are in conflict with each other, they use children as a field to fight. We are here to ensure that parents, despite their differences, do the right thing for children, so they should rest assured." Oh, that's how you say it right. "They should rest assured that when they come, we will protect them and make sure they get what they need." She talked about how the cases don't take very long to deal with, not more than a week usually. But here are some figures. So in 2019, there were 469 cases of children reporting parents for non-maintenance. In 2018, 504 cases. 2017, there were 386 cases. In 2016, there were just 206 cases. But so far in 2020, there have already been 114 cases reported. Okay, so when you fail to provide for your child or maintenance money, which is usually paid by one parent to the other, usually the richer parent to the other, or the non-custodial parents to the other. Yeah. When you fail to pay it under the law, you've breached the law, because until your child hits 18 years, or actually until your child leaves school, because even after 18, if they're in school, you have to pay maintenance under the law. And that's what
it's really sad, because it's one of the things that happens when parents split up.
Yeah.
And I think the pain, in my experience and with talking to people, the pain of the payment is the fact that you are giving money to this person who you abhor so much, or who there's so much animosity between, and then you're having to trust that they will actually use your money for the children and not for themselves. It's such a difficult situation. But it is what it is.
But in all things, the rights of the child should be held paramount.
We should put our children first. Another thing that we should put first is our ability to export. And there were EU countries are rejecting Ghana grain. So the Ghana Standards Authority is worried about the aflatoxin menace, which is posing a threat to the country's food production. Now, aflatoxins are fungus that contaminate food commodities such as maize, groundnuts, chili pepper, rice, and among other things. Now, the business development manager of the Ghana Standards Authority, Mr. George Kojo Anti, has said that between 2018 and 2019, Ghana received 46 notifications from the EU, leading to the destruction of crops, forcing farmers to withdraw from exporting grains to the EU countries. He's urging participants who are exporters He's urging them to be careful, to make sure that they're treating the grains as they should be, to be mindful of the fact that it's a very, very, very lucrative source of income. And so it's important that they're mindful that they're treating the grains, like I said, so that we're not getting these kinds of notifications which lead to destruction, which then lead to impairing our ability to export some of the food produce that we have here.
Yeah, this is the second time Europe has banned some particular products.
This wasn't a ban. This was more of a rejection. We haven't gotten there yet, so we hope it doesn't get there.
Okay, so in the past there was a ban on vegetables, certain vegetables from Ghana, but this now we're hearing about grains. So there is something about the quality control in our agricultural sector that really needs a bit of attention, and it's because so much of what we do is not standardized.
Yeah.
So people produce with their own methods, to their own standards, and then we try to export them all to the same customer, and that causes some difficulty. Yeah.
But you have something to tell us about some major road projects?
Yes. Now, the Auditor General has been doing a lot of performance audits, and it seems that each time he does, they make the headlines. So today there are two more performance audits that have generated headlines, and they're both to do with roads. Okay, the first one is a performance audit he did into three particular roads. The East Legon Spintex Underpass, the Eastern Corridor Lots 5 and 6, and the Oil and Gas Enclave roads. And he found a lot of interesting things. These roads, by the way, were under implementation between 2014 and 2019. Okay, now the report noted that the Ghana Highway Authority did not compile complete feasibility data. Now this caused a problem, okay, because what happened was the contractors would bring their preliminary designs and the Highway Authority would approve the contract based on those preliminary designs, and that ended up costing us a great deal of money due to poor planning. But here's the example that really rankled. So basically, in the Daily Graphic, it reports on 3 other roads: the Tetekwashi Madina Road, Ayamfree New Obuasi Road, and the Bolgatanga Boko Polimakum Road. It reported on those that the project delayed by over 10 years. Okay, and this is the Madina Ayamfree Road. Over 10 years, and this led to a rise in the cedi and the US dollar components of the contract by 624 and 187% respectively. Okay, so the project should have cost 23 million Ghana cedis and 17.41 million Ghana cedis respectively, but instead we spent 170.48 million and 49.97 million respectively. So essentially we're paying enough money on one project to fund 6 more of the same thing, simply due to delayed payments and the fluctuation of the cedi. Okay, so we're paying out huge interest payments to contractors, in some cases because we're not paying them on time, and that also is causing the amounts to fluctuate. Okay, these are just 6 roads out of hundreds constructed in that period. Imagine what else we'll find if we keep digging.
Definitely a worrying situation. Another worrying situation are the power outages that hit most parts of Accra yesterday. And so many WhatsApp platforms I was on were dominated with, including our work platform, the Super Morning Show platform, dominated with conversations on power outages. So I want you to tell us, listening to us, which part of the country you're in and whether or not you experienced a power outage last night. Send that message to 0244 340 437, 0244 340 437. The online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goil Good Energy. Goil has released onto the market a higher grade Super XP Raw 95 for all consumers. From now on, all Goil service stations are offering higher grade Super XP Raw 95 at no extra cost to our cherished customers. Consumers no longer need to pay more for any higher grade petrol specification. You save money by buying Goil's high grade Super XP. Visit any Goil station and experience less vibration and less noise from your engine, as well as better fuel economy for your vehicles at the same price. Choosing the right fuel is an important feature in maintaining your vehicle. Choose the right petrol. Choose Goil. Goil Good Energy. Goil Yanara Yedia. Now, Zenith Bank's POS is giving you more payment options. If you want to pay with Momo, go right ahead. If you want to tap and pay with any contactless Visa or MasterCard payment option, look no further. Enjoy the convenience of making payments with your preferred payment option on any Zenith Bank POS. At Zenith Bank, your convenience is truly our priority. Zenith Bank in your best interest. We'll be back after these messages.